Hello Facebook, hello YouTube. What is up everybody? This is Ruben and I'm back with another Ruben report. For today's video, we're going to be experimenting with the 15:42 gear ratio setup. I know this video is a little bit delayed, but as you guys know, in the past couple of days, I started doing food deliveries with this motorcycle. And up to this point, or up to the point of a couple of weeks ago, the primary use of this bike was just transportation. Me getting from point A to point B, to and from work, to and from the grocery store, wherever it is I needed to go. And the 16:42 gearing ratio, which is on the bike now, served that purpose very well. The majority of the riding that I've been doing has been on back roads, going about speeds of 50 to 55 miles an hour, and on highways going anywhere between 65 to 70 miles an hour. And for those purposes, the 16:42 gear ratio has been great. However, for the past couple of weeks, doing food deliveries, doing a lot more inner city riding, I'm starting to see the limitations of the 16:42 gearing ratio in those situations. I'm constantly finding myself doing inner city riding where I'm around 45 miles an hour. I'm kind of in a weird limbo, switching in between fourth and fifth gear. So at about 45 miles an hour, I'm riding either in fourth gear at around 3,500 to 3,600 RPMs, or I flip up to fifth gear and I'm going at around 3,000 RPMs. And with this particular gearing ratio, 16:42, riding at 3,000 RPMs in fifth gear, the bike is not necessarily struggling, but it just doesn't feel very smooth. And so hopefully what I want to do is I want to put the 15-tooth front sprocket on to see if I'm going to get a bit more bottom end, or just better bottom end power and a lot more smooth operation throughout the gears while I'm riding in inner city traffic. And by doing this, I also hope that I don't take too much away from my ability to ride this motorcycle for its primary use, which is transportation. And I don't think I'm going to take too much away from that. All right, so I have the 15-tooth front sprocket here on my workbench. Okay, and I also have the prevailing torque nut for the KLR 650. So what this is going to do is this is going to replace the stock torque nut that's on there that has a washer behind it. And so this allows me to, if I want to, I can swap in between the 16-tooth front sprocket and the 15-tooth front sprocket more frequently if I so choose. All right, now when it comes to removing the front sprocket, let me give you guys a pro tip. Obviously you're gonna have to bend the tabs back. I've done it already. And what you want to do is you want to go ahead and put it in gear, down to like first gear, and you get yourself a really long breaker bar. Oh, and by the way, the stock, for this stock nut, you're going to need a 27 millimeter socket. It's good to know. And what you should do is you put the breaker bar on there, and once it's on there, what you want to do is you want to give it one really quick and forceful push, okay, down with your arm. So you don't want to lightly try to pry it. It's not going to do anything. You want to stand up, get some leverage, and then forcefully push it down like that. And after about one or two tries of those, of really quick, forceful pushes, it should break the nut free pretty easily. And again, I've already done it. So this is the old torque nut, which requires the washer here that you got to bend the tab over. With the new washer, you don't need, or the new torque nut, you don't need this washer anymore, and you don't need to bend it over, which is going to be nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this sprocket off, put the new sprocket on, and we'll see you guys in a moment. All right, I got the 15-tooth front sprocket on there with the prevailing torque nut. We're going to go ahead and button this back up with the sprocket cover, and then we're going to take the bike out for a test ride. Just for note, the Eagle Mike torque nut, which states to torque it to 72 foot-pounds. So make sure you do that. And then, yeah, just adjust the chain, and then you'll be ready to go. So let me go ahead and get that sprocket cover back on, and I'll see you guys here in a little bit.
All right, so here we go. We are going to get up to speed here on our little test track, and as we are doing so, we're going to be starting off in 5th gear, going at around 3,000 RPM. And as we settle down here, around 3,000 RPM, the bike now goes with this 1542 gear ratio around 42 miles an hour GPS. We then continue to accelerate up to 3,500 RPMs, and at 3,500 RPMs with this new gear ratio, we are now sitting at around 49 miles an hour GPS. We continue to accelerate up to 4,000 RPMs now, or really up to 55 miles an hour, which is my desired cruising speed, and we're now sitting at 4,000 RPMs to go 55 miles an hour GPS. Now for the next section to accelerate even further, we had to go to a different part of the road where it wasn't as busy, so we're going to flip to there in just a moment here. All right, so now we continue to accelerate up to 4,500 RPMs, and at 4,500 RPMs we are now going a 62 miles an hour GPS, or 63 miles an hour GPS. As we continue to accelerate, we are now doing 65 miles an hour at around 4,700 RPMs. So we can still hit our 65 miles an hour to go highway speeds. It's no longer around 4,400 RPMs. It's now going to be at 4,700 RPMs. So overall, we have about a 300 RPM difference at any given speed in between the previous 1642 gear ratio and the new current 1542 gear ratio. And I'm going to put those results from the old video up here on the screen so you can compare.
Alright guys, I am back from my little test ride, and from the footage, as you guys saw, the difference in speed varies anywhere between 3 to 4 miles an hour, depending on what RPM the bike is riding at. But I will definitely say that the low end torque, or the low end power, has increased quite a bit. The bike feels a lot more comfortable riding at inner city speeds of anywhere between 35 and 50 miles an hour in between 4th and 5th gear. I can go all the way as low as 2,800 RPMs, 2,700 RPMs, and it not feel uncomfortable, or it's generally smooth depending on the gear that I'm in. 4th gear I can go a bit lower, but 5th gear I can even go a little bit below 3,000 RPM, and it chugs along just fine. So definitely have increased the bottom end torque and the bottom end grunt quite significantly, and it feels a lot more comfortable with the inner city riding, which nowadays I'm going to be doing a lot more of. And as far as the top end is concerned, I'm still able to go 55 miles an hour, albeit it's no longer at 3,700 RPMs. It's going to be at 4,000 RPMs now. All right, so that is it. I will see you guys later. Look out for more videos of me doing some more DoorDash and Uber Eats and such the like, and I'll keep you guys updated with any other little projects I have going on. All right, till next time, guys. See you later, and stay safe out there. Peace.